Bad takes are a staple of the internet, but I think they're especially funny from game developers. People who need to create products that people actually want, so you'd think they'd listen to feedback and understand the state of the industry, but no, some of them are so out of touch with reality, it's crazy, and there is a thread going around that is getting absolutely roasted, where a pretty well-known developer has basically said Starfield is misogynist because you can kill women in it, and that's just icky. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media so you can see when my content is posted, and of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and live streams I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So I actually had to screenshot all of these posts because he blocked me. I made one very simple tweet, retweeting his thread, and he blocked me within like 20 minutes of my post being posted. First of all, you are a public figure, okay? You have over 125,000 followers on Twitter/X, and you seriously can't take one single person making a post with her opinion. It's not like I said anything mean about him either. My exact quote was, "It's not icky because they're fictional characters. Nothing is ever enough for people like this. They demand more representation, yet complain when those characters have bad things happen to them in-game." That is what got me blocked by this person. But he started his tweet thread off with saying, "So the weird thing about Starfield is most of the player base is male, but because of your 2020 ideas of equality, half the evil space pirates are women. The result is a game where dudes fly around the galaxy doing violence to many, many women, and it feels icky." Now, first of all, he is saying that Starfield specifically has a primarily male player base. Does he actually link to any sources, any sort of evidence that proves this? No, of course not. I'm a woman. I've been playing Starfield. I've also seen plenty of women on social media say that they're also playing Starfield. So I don't really know where this, assumption is coming from. But he then goes on to say, "But because of your 2020 ideas of equality, half the evil space pirates are women." These people are never happy. So it's individuals like this who have demanded that there be more women in video games, more BIPOC NPCs in games like the Mary Sue. Okay, these people are constantly saying we need more diversity and inclusivity and representation in video games. And okay, you have gotten that, but now that you have gotten that, you're mad that they don't all happen to be the good guys. That's just never going to happen. You're never going to have only white, straight men as the villains and all of the, women and people of color all on the winning side, on the good side. That's just not gonna happen. If you want more representation, you're going to have to bite the bullet and accept the fact that yes, they are going to happen to be the bad guys sometime. That personally doesn't bother me, that I have to go into a video game and I have to kill women. It's a video game, and that brings me on to my next point. He's saying the result is a game where dudes fly around the galaxy fictionally doing violence to many, many women, and it feels icky. Why does it feel icky? Okay, we are talking about fictional characters in a fictional world with fictional storylines. That's how the cookie crumbles. If you just don't like video games, just say so. Just leave the industry, because that's what's gonna happen. I'm a woman and I'm fine with having to kill fictional women because they're fictional. I am fine with having to kill fictional men in video games as well. It's just the way that it is. But these people will find anything to complain about. Also, can I just point out how when a grown man says icky, it's honestly kind of icky. It's a little cringe, in my opinion. And I hate using that word, but it's the best way to put it. But he went on to say the combat, which is a huge part of the game, is iterating on the kind of power fantasy games have done for a long time. These games cater to what their designers believe is an impulse in the player base and to be powerful and victorious. Usually this has been dude on dude fights, but by spinning it this way, the designers are implicitly saying that they think their players have this kind of violent fantasy oriented towards women. Society would regard this as sick if stated explicitly, but because it's implicit, this mistake was somehow made. This person is so hung up on the fact that you can do violence against women, and honestly, I haven't really seen anybody else complain about this. Maybe like a handful of, very sensitive snowflakes on social media complaining about how, oh my god, you have to kill women sometimes in the game, but that's about it. And this person is just going, to the max. I mean, oh my goodness, you're one of the only people complaining about this. We are talking about a video game here. Of course you're going to have, individual on individual fights and violence. And of course, players want to walk out and feel powerful and victorious. But this game also has systems that do the complete opposite. If you get caught pickpocketing, or if you get caught, lockpicking something, you can get arrested. You get bounties put on your head. You can go to jail. So there is risk for potential reward. That's just how it goes. And then you don't feel very victorious, and then you don't feel very powerful. They are just taking this game, and it's like they're just specifically trying to trash Starfield. Now, I have been, live streaming a full playthrough of Starfield on the channel, more than halfway through the game. And it has problems, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying it's the best game to ever be created and it's so grand and fantastic and amazing. It's got some very serious technical issues, and also there are some issues that I have with the content itself, but it doesn't deserve this. It doesn't deserve to have people attacking it because it feels icky simply because you do violence against women. He also went on to say, by the way, I don't want this to come across as a blanket diss of Starfield, but that's what you wanted to do. You started this thread out with saying, this is my problem with Starfield. This is a massive issue with Starfield. You called the developers out for catering to misogyny. How do you not think that people are going to view this as a diss against Starfield? It says, I think it's an impressive feat of organization and production to get the game shipped. I enjoyed many parts of my playthrough. Shooting a bunch of women was gross though. Okay, so don't play shooter games. If you do not like, FPSs and they make you feel uncomfortable, that is perfectly fine. Simply don't play them. If you don't look at a genre of games and instantly get excited, and honestly, they make you feel kind of gross and weird and you just don't find the appeal in them, no matter what that genre is, that is perfectly fine. Just don't play them. Don't go on social media and complain that, oh my god, I just put 100 hours into this game, but it made me feel icky because I had to kill women. Just don't play it. And again, this person is someone who is pretty notable in the gaming industry. He's got 125,000 followers on Twitter/X, and he has come out with what I'm going to call very ethereal puzzle games, very calm and relaxing games, I describe them as. And two of the primary titles he's worked on have done very well. He worked on Braid, which came out in 2008, and he came out with The Witness, which came out in 2016. Both, again, very popular games. But just because he's made great games in the past doesn't mean his stance on the industry in totality is great, and he is way off base with this take, in my opinion. And he's getting pretty freaking roasted for it. I mean, as you can see, people are saying things like, I love The Witness, but this is not a good take. It's not icky to do violence against game characters. I don't even notice their gender when I'm shooting them. And don't you think if they didn't include women in the Crimson Fleet, people would complain about the lack of diversity? This 100%. If they didn't add the women, they would have people mad at them for simply not including women. And it feels icky. That's because you have no empathy for men. You're the kind of man who hears women and children first and doesn't realize how monstrous that is, and you never will either. You'll be more mad at me for pointing it out than at yourself for the misandry. Why does killing fictional women feel any more icky than killing fictional men? It shouldn't, because at the end of the day, they're both fictional characters. That's all that matters, in my opinion. They're bots in a game, and getting so triggered over this only just proves to the world how much of a sensitive snowflake you are. And to top that off, he blocked me. He blocked me. Okay? He just doesn't want to have a discussion with people. He doesn't want anyone to question his opinion or say that his take is bad. I didn't say anything mean or rude towards him, but of course, crying, moan, groan, and complain because he's gone and hidden behind the block button on Twitter, even though I didn't attack him. But yes, his take is getting absolutely roasted right now, and he deserves all the heat that he's getting. This is just a completely out of touch take, and I hope that he continues to get absolutely destroyed for it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.